organization, volunteered, and they turned him down because he had hay fever. So he went over to the Navy and again volunteered, and they took him. They put him on an aircraft carrier. He flew small fighter planes during World War II, got 2 distinguished flying crosses from the and then he came back to the Midwest. So now we've got a young guy. Probably by this time he would be 23 or 24 years old. And the interesting thing is, he got back to the Midwest, and he actually kind of went from one job to another for a short period of, or not such a short period of time. And he finally became a used car salesman at a Cadillac dealership in St. Louis, Missouri. And at age 35, having moved up in the organization, the sales organization, he said to his boss, "Could I go into car leasing business with you?" The boss said, "Well, if you'll cut your salary in half and you'll come up with," it was $25,000, which he borrowed, "we can become partners in a car leasing company." So my friend Jack started at age 35 in the car leasing business. And he had 7 cars. It was pretty slow. In fact, one of the things he did was whenever the phone rang, he let it ring 3 or 4 times so people would think that he was very busy answering other phones. And of course, it was the only call he was going to get all day. So his first venture was okay, but it wasn't really going to go anyplace. And there's a lesson in this for all of us. At age 40, he decided, with 17 vehicles, 17 cars, he was going to go into competition in the rent-a-car business. So now he's taking on Hertz and Avis and National and people like that who have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of cars. And he's got 17 cars, and his cars aren't any different than theirs. I mean, he's buying them from General Motors or Ford or Chrysler. And he can't get the airport locations. Those companies have them all sold up. But he was determined that he would basically offer the customer, can't offer him a different car, but he can offer them friendlier service than they've ever seen. And so he started a company. He named it after the battleship that he'd flown from in the Pacific, which was the USS Enterprise. And he died about a year and a half ago. But when he died, his rent-a-car company, starting with those 17 cars, was worth more than Hertz and Avis and all the rest of the rental cars put together. The man's name was Jack Taylor, and his son, Andy Taylor, is a good friend of mine, runs the business now. A grandchild is in the business. They'll probably be a 4th generation along the line. So this man in the United States, he didn't invent or he didn't do anything that, just like Mrs. B selling furniture. I mean, that any one of us could have entered those businesses. But he lived by the creed, basically, of delighting his customers and working with people and establishing the relationship with them so that they in turn would want to delight the customers. He couldn't go out there and take care of every rental car possibility, but he learned how to project himself and his attitude toward his fellow man and his desire, to make a friend out of every customer. He managed to take very ordinary cars and turn them into this extraordinary business from virtually nothing. And it illustrates several points. One is, you don't necessarily get it right exactly right the first time. I mean, the car leasing business, basically you were competing on the cost of money to finance cars. And it's very hard to delight a customer when you just give them the car and tell them to send you a monthly check for 5 years and you'll be back at that time. So his talents were being wasted basically in that business. But at the age of 40, with all of that experience behind him, he found the golden key. He took a very ordinary business and turned it into an absolutely extraordinary operation, just like Mrs. B or Rose Bumpkin did with furniture. And he didn't worry about whether the Federal Reserve was going to tighten or ease. He didn't worry about whether the stock market was up or down yesterday. He didn't worry about the things he couldn't change, but he did focus on the one thing he could change, and that was the customer's experience. And I have seen the one the one that got away, Enterprise. I went down to Florida and tried to talk him into selling to Berkshire, and he was smart enough not to do it. Probably the value of the company has quadrupled since I made that visit. But he was smart enough to see that he would find that business. Henry Ford, as you may know, failed twice before he started the Ford Motor Company in 1903. I mean, the test isn't whether you get the greatest business idea in the world the first time out. The test is whether you keep learning as you go along what your strengths are and what you can do for your customers, what you can bring especially to the party. And to do that, you need the education that I know you've received through 10,000 small businesses, but you need a genuine desire day in, day out, delight the customer. I've never seen a business, and I've seen a lot of businesses, but I've never seen one that delights the customer that doesn't succeed. I mean, what you want is that customer the next day when they think, do I want to rent a car or do I want to buy some furniture? What goes through their mind? You know, it's the place where they've had a great experience. I don't know what I paid for this time. Actually, probably if somebody gave it to me, but for the purposes of this speech, I will say I have no idea.
Yes, man. What is going on, Gerald Peters? Welcome back to the channel. Always remember, whatever it is you think about comes about. And listen, whatever it is you focus on, that's what grows in your life. I hope you're doing well. Stock market is looking good, man. I know some of you guys are getting bearish like a bunch of little. Don't be. Market can keep going and keep going and keep going. I was writing some notes here earlier. This was yesterday. I hope you have a notebook, man. Life worth living is a life worth recording. If you find yourself not taking notes, it's probably because you're not doing shit. Let's bring this up. Let's pull up CrowdStrike. Got 46 people. I'm not going to go on. I could have went on Instagram, but fuck Instagram. Right here, we're looking at CrowdStrike. Ignore, not ignore. The 7-period RSI here. I mostly use that for very short-term trading. We're looking up here. The 14-period relative strength index, which is the RSI, is at 18. And the stock we're looking at here is CrowdStrike Holdings. Now, you may know CrowdStrike. They kind of jacked up the world the other day when we had a conflict between, CrowdStrike, and it looks like it was a Microsoft. Let me pull this up. It was like an update problem. It was an update problem. CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity company that provides cloud-delivered protection across endpoints, cloud workloads, identity, and data. I don't even know what the hell that means. They are known for their advanced threat intelligence and proactive threat hunting capabilities. CrowdStrike's flagship product, the Falcon platform, uses artificial intelligence, AI. CrowdStrike's flagship product, the Falcon platform, uses artificial intelligence and machine learning, ML. We haven't heard about machine learning in a while. I think that was the early AI, but we called it machine learning. Machine learning to detect, prevent, and respond. Damn, that's like a rap song. Boom, boom, detect, prevent, and respond to cyber threats in real time. They serve various industries across all of fucking America. They serve various industries, helping organizations defend against a wide array of cyber attacks. Okay. All that said, we had already had what we call a stage 4 decline. On this day, right here, in the year of 2024 of our Lord, what was it, July 10th, 11th, boom, right in here. And then we just had a total breakdown. You know, maybe you were playing that this is possibly support right here. This little zone holds, right? What's funny, take this across. Resistance becomes support. But then what? It breaks. And look how far we have fallen. Oh, the depths of our despair. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, we opened right at what I would have thought would have been the next support zone, right here around 28, 29. Now, I saw Barron's, a few other people ran articles talking about how bullish the CrowdStrike setup was because RSI was extreme and it was at the 200. That is not the fucking money flow, okay? That is not the fucking money flow, okay? Now, the money flow, and you know, if you've ever heard me talk about too, I have this thing called Rule 10%. If something happens to a stock, now I'm talking about a traditional stock. Now, whoa, I got to turn this off. Traditional stock, you know, a 10% move is pretty big. So you got to look at the beta of what you're trading. Beta is a concept of how to measure volatility. Let me see what they actually define. Let's see, make sure I'm not. Beta can refer to several different things. In finance, beta measures the volatility or systematic risk of a security or portfolio compared to the overall market as a whole, normally against the S&P 500. So you can look at a stock and you can see what is this stock's beta. If it has a 2.5 beta, we know that if it's in line with the stock market, it would be a 1. Because it has a 2.5, we know this thing is much more volatile than the S&P, which is what most people measure beta against. So a beta greater than 1 indicates higher volatility than the standard, which would be the S&P. And a beta lower than 1 would be means it's less volatile than the S&P. Example, AT&T and Verizon would probably have like a 0.5, 0.6 beta against the S&P 500. I hope that makes sense. All right, so we're looking at CrowdStrike. You would not buy this. This is what, when they talk about a falling knife, this is a falling knife, baby. Let's see. We have fallen. Oh, how they fall. From 390 all the way down to 263. What a beautiful fucking fall. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the money flow is now we get to stalk it. You guys are stalkers. You know what's up with that. You like to follow girls around, watch them. That's this. We got to follow it, man. That's not a good example. He's like, that's not a good example. It is. I'm updating the newsletter too, by the way. Everybody calm the fuck down. Let's see. I got a lot of shit going on, man. I got 10 open houses almost. Well, I had 7 now. I got 3 more coming up, man. Had a car drive through one. It's a little fucking depressing. The money flow in the 4 stages of price movement. The stock market goes up 71% of the time. The problem is it's not a straight line. Price can only do one of 3 things: move up, move down, or move sideways. I believe price does this in 4 stages, and by identifying the stage, making sure we're up. By identifying the stage, here we are. We can take advantage. We can allocate our buys, our sales. We can take advantage of a stage 4, maybe short or hedge. and maximize prices to maximize price increase to take profits, possibly take profits into a stage 4 distribution. Now, what you want to do is as you grow, so you can't read a fucking book and be a trader. You can read a book to learn about trading, but you got to trade, okay? And so in the beginning, you just need to trade a lot of fucking trading. You need to be sick of fucking trading, just trading. That's how you get good at it, okay? Same with investing. You just invest. That's how you get good at it. Now, as you begin to understand and live in flow with the 4 stages of price movement based on the time frame that you're looking. So we need a primary time frame. And then we need to understand that through time continuity, as we layer time over the charts and over our life, we can see these 4 stages playing out in all different time frames. It'll be, running. You might get 10 of these on a 1 minute, and and it's still stage 1 on a daily. And so time is fractal. Time is fractal. The money flow is fractal. You're fractal. Bitcoin is fractal. A fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over and fucking over again in an ongoing feedback loop. That is price. Chaos to cash. You see chaos every day. This is fucking chaos. Price opened here, and it went all the way down. And that tick you see to the left, the little tick, that's the close. And the tick to the left, open. Tick to the right, close. Now, what about this bar here? Tick to the left, open. Tick to the right, close. See it? What about here? Tick to the left, open. Tick to the left, right, close. So here you see open, price goes down, price closed down. Now here you see the opposite of this. It's still a red candle. Why? Because it's below the previous candle. It has nothing to do with the open, nothing to do with the close. It's where is this candle or bar in relation to the previous one. And so you could have an up day, meaning it opened here, price moved up, close here. So on the day, you had an up day, but you have a down candle because in the movement down, it's still down. Hope that makes sense. So now look, stage 4 decline. So hope you can see the pattern here. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4. We're coming down. Right here. You must memorize the pattern you see in this picture. So if you're buying declining stocks and they have not triggered a stage 1 buy, there is no confirmation. You are not money flowing. You're doing something else. You have no fucking strategy. You're just buying falling knives because you lack discipline to fucking make yourself follow your strategy. You can call it whatever else you want to call it. You just don't have fucking discipline, okay? That's what it is. Most people suffer from a lack of discipline. Discipline and ego. You want to be right. What you need to understand, you can't be right, man. There is no being right. Nobody cares if you're right either, by the way. That's all in your head. You being right doesn't do much for me. Let me show you this. Technical analysis. Let me move off of this. This is some technical analysis here. Look at this doji. We've been seeing so many dojis lately, so I've been talking a lot about it. We've been seeing so many dojis. Wait, where was I here? That are anchor points. You can't ask for a finer, blatant, in your face, obvious anchor point than when you get a doji at the very bottom, especially when the RSI is extreme. And then what you're starting to have is what's called confluence, multiple indicators aligning across time frames and agreeing. It's called confluence. And in every move, some people call this a measured move. A measured move is from the very bottom to the very fucking top, to the very bottom, to the very top, to the very bottom. These are what people might call measured moves. Okay? They're measured. Measure them from the beginning to the end. I call them stages. Money flow has its own vernacular. So listen, you have to create your own vernacular. You need to own this shit. You need to own your portfolio. You need to own it. You should know what the stocks are worth. You should know which ones are position trades and which one are swing trades. You should know what to do with your leveraged funds. Don't fucking buy things if you don't have an exit plan. Very simple. It's so simple. Trading is simple. We make it complicated, okay? And investing is really simple, and people tend to make it complicated. Oh, your stock went up, so I should sell it. Because people will feel a need to do something. Well, it went down or it went up, so I have to do something. Most of the time, if you just did fucking nothing, that would be the best thing for you to do. Because if you're, it's usually the best thing is to do very little. So if we're talking trading, I'm going to assume you have a shorter window. If we're talking investing, the window is much higher, right? So we're going to use the same indicators. We're going to use the same philosophy. We're just going to change up the playbook based on our time frame, okay? Anytime we're talking trading, you need to what is your quantifiable edge? What is your edge that this trade is going to work? Now, I think part of that is when we break down what is technical analysis. Technical analysis is the main tool that traders use to determine the direction or interpretation of where they believe price may go or what is happening using the charts. As a trend following follows a trend. We're not trying to go against the trend. Sometimes people go against the trend. Let me give you an example right here. So the RSI bangs and you're like, oh, it's a high RSI. I think I'll short this because in their mind, they have a case they built for whatever reason. They think it's got to go down. And I would ask you, what is your quantifiable edge in that scenario? What is it that makes you think that happens most of the time? Like, do you have any sort of evidence for that? And so if you don't actually have a strategy. You're just kind of out there. Now, you might just be out there while you're trying to figure it out. Nothing wrong with that. Just keep the money small. But we need a positive expectation that our trades are going to be positive and we're going to do things in the right order. So technical analysis is the main tool to kind of help us do that. But the second and most quantifiable method, and the method that we or I use, is more of a reactive approach. I'm not trying to predict. I'm trying to position based on what I see happening in the market, right? So when I get this doji and I can draw a line and I look across and I see, well, it's basically stopped here before. And the RSIC, I can begin to make an assumption that, hey, this stage one's setting it up. And so if that happens, I want to buy when it breaks above the trigger, 5-day exponential average. So when price does that, bam, I'm on it, right? Why? Because I feel that I have a quantifiable edge and I feel like I can explain it. I have an entry, I have a stop loss, and I have a target. And that, my friends, is the definition of trading. That right there. And if you don't have that, you don't have an exit, you don't have targets are an exit, you don't understand the risk or the beta or what your quantifiable edge is, you're just mental masturbating. That's all you're doing. So we need to be able to answer all of these things. Once you can, here's the beautiful thing about this, guys. Once you can do this with a stock like CrowdStrike, we will buy the motherfucking bottom and ride it up and make money. I have no doubt that is going to happen here. I have a quantifiable edge. And if it doesn't work, I have an exit plan. That is why. Now, there's two main principles in all of trading and investing. They're similar. And it's this: when you buy some shit, let it go. If it wants to go higher, let it go higher. There is nothing dumber that you can do than to sell out of something just because it went up, because it might not be done. And so the way that you make money trading is not on every trade. It's the trades that you got right, that you let them run, and they're going to make up for all the ones you got wrong. And that is trading. That's trading. You have to define your edge. And investing, define your edge. one of the edges in investing is fucking time. If you go look throughout all of history, the S&P 500 averages 9 fucking lay time out, and we can look. And so we have a quantifiable edge called time, the time in the market. And we know it works, man. And we're trading with an edge. What I try to do is a reactive approach. This method of technical analysis doesn't attempt to predict, but reacts to what is actually happening. Price itself dictates the actions to be taken. It doesn't try to guess or get ahead of the market, but simply respond. We want to manage our risk and participate in both a rising and or falling market with confidence. Fuck this stock. Take it down. So you can say that when you have confidence that you think you can play it. Oh, I know I can play it. I can play it perfect. That's why the new book coming out is called Perfect Swing Trade, because they're fucking perfect. That's what the money flow does. Does it mean they're going to win? In losing trade, we should execute that losing trade fucking perfectly. The way you don't execute a losing trade perfectly, you don't honor your stops. You live undisciplined. You're trading based on ego, and you hold it. And then you turn a $100 loss into a $400 loss because of your fucking ego. And that is not good trading. Your system worked, and it was going to take a small loss like it's supposed to. So at least half your trades will be losers. And so if that's the case, we got to get real fucking good at losing, meaning fast. Take the loss. Let's go. Next trade. Take the loss. Next. Let's go. Next trade. No ego. I have a positive expectation that over time I'm going to win because 71% of the time stocks go up. So I just got to find good quality stocks. And then they're going to do what they do. Let's see. Damn, man. I'm going to be honest. That was fucking good right there. Play that back for myself. So we've been in the banking stocks here. A lot of people have forgotten about them. Oh, Gerald, it moved so slow. I had to run and buy Shiba coin. I didn't have the money. So here we go. Remember, we've been doing the banks for a long time. What happened? What happened? Some of you were with me when the banking crisis come. Come on, crisis. Break the whole fucking country. I don't give a fuck. Bring it down. What happened? We saw the KRE. What? If you've been in the money, I don't even know how people can quit them. I mean, it blows my mind when we get people that drop out and it's like, bro, all we do is kill it. Make money and watch. What in the fuck are you doing that is not working for you? But if we come, I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. So if we come over here with a strategy, usually comes back to bad buckets and life. Most people let life steal it. Oh, I gotta help my cousin Larry. Oh, my cousin. That's what keeps people from being. Look at this right here. This is a weekly chart. Look at that doji. So if you were looking at this and you got the RSI on extreme and you got a TSI rollover and you got the MACD confirming, when you drop down to a daily chart, every stage 2 breakout or stage 1 would be bought. It's called time continuity. And so you begin to use the triple screen or price laid over top of each other. Man, this shit gets so easy. It's fucking embarrassing at times, like taking money from babies. Some of you should feel bad and start donating money to, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go out and hang out with some homeless people tonight. So, well, all we got to do is find the bottom. Now, here's the easy part. It's in the past. It's like calling plays after the game. Go, fuck, man. Where's the lowest candle? The last 4. There's our bottom. And then all we need is a confirmation. Four candles. This in this case is 4 weeks, and then boom, price is above the 5. That is it. That's the fucking trigger. That's it. So if you're buying stocks that haven't done that, you're not money flowing. You're doing something else. Okay. What's in, and so we've just killed it on this. Let's look at Nike. Look at Nike. Now I'm gonna blow this up. Look at this. Anchor point right here. Right here. There's your anchor. You might have called this your anchor. And it broke, but it held it. So we got a box right in here. Not perfect. There you go, my friends. That's the bottom box. And the entry is right here. Holy shit, Gerald. That looks like the bottom. Yeah. Can do it every time, over and fucking over and over on every stock, anytime. Now, people say, well, you can't buy bottoms and tops. Okay. We'd start buying at what, 73.40, and it's 74. I mean, I feel like that's pretty goddamn close. And so, yeah, by waiting on a confirmation, it gives us one, plan, strategy, entry, repeatable. What was that? All right. What a beautiful box here. So this is a buy. Now, what you need to know, newbies, you're going to run to about there. And you're going to run into trouble here. These zones right here. Previous box, previous high. You see that? So if I'm really trading low, how would we use time continuity? I don't know how to do it, John. I can't click the button. Don't know how to push the buttons. So we could come over here and we could say 160 minute. That's 1 hour. And so what now? Now we get to see this stage 1 on the daily being built. A filter you can run it so I don't have to actually do anything. I can just sit down on the couch with my big fat ass and not have to do anything. Here we go. So this here, all of this time here, the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, all in there. You're just seeing price do this, right? Let's see. Take it to a daily, back to a daily, and that's what you got. Easy swing trade. Now, if this pays a dividend, we could set up a B&B trade. It's going to be up in here. I think you're going to run into trouble, though, around this 90 range, and you might run in a little bit. And if I'm a very short-term trader, I'm going to catch that 5. I might start selling right there near that $80 range, maybe a little lower. So the more you shrink the time down, the faster the action, faster you got to make decisions, okay? Man. Or decline. Let's get back over here to CrowdStrike. Don't buy this stock. Anybody buying right now, you're a complete dipshit, by the way. Don't be a dipshit, man, if you don't have to. The stage 4, the markdown, is where a trader needs to be out. Sell that bitch or get short. And hopefully you locked in profits before this happened. So if you're down way down in here, right? I don't know where you were trading. Price will close below the 20-day moving average, followed by a 5 EMA crossover. That's the 5-day exponential moving average crossing below the green line, which is the 20. Traders are already going to be ahead of this. The money flow entire strategy is based on the 4 stages of price movement. You must be able to identify what stage a stock is in. Stop buying stocks too soon and posting it in Discord too, by the way. If you do that, it kind of makes me think you don't know the fucking strategy. Everyone in Discord should know the strategy. Period. I mean, come on. We got to know it, right? Let's see. No, on the real. If you're in Discord, listen. You absolutely have to get your shit together entirely. Everyone in Discord should have their shit together. Seriously, period. Now, I'm not talking about your personal life. I'm sure that's all fucked up. You guys are in the garage spooning. I have no doubt. I'm talking about your money life here when we're trading, okay? You've got to get it together. You cannot have days on end where you're just a dipshit and you're not learning things and you're all fucked up and you're chaotic. Get that all done. Charts are easy. We should be done with the chart reading. Everybody should understand how to read charts, okay? You can't be 5 years in and we're still fucking around learning to read charts. You got to go fast, man. You should just be able to look at a chart. You can tell what stage you're in. You can tell the time frame, the indicators. You know exactly where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where here's my stop. Here's my entry and exit. Let's go. Next chart. And we can do a lot, okay? And so pressure yourself. You know, a good thing for a lot of you, but you're too scared to do it, or your wife won't let you. Please, baby, please, can I do it? Please, please let me go to Gerald's house, please, so I can learn to trade, please. No, go vacuum the house. It's your day off. Go vacuum. Go do something you don't like to do. Just fucking suffer. That's an option. But day trade with me for a week, man, and your swing trading will grow. I don't want to be a day trader, Gerald. You don't have to be a day trader. We're going to trade the same way, and what's going to happen is you're going to be very good at it, very fast. You're going to be able to execute much faster and make these things happen. So this has been a beautiful trade. We've run it from I don't know, $60 range to what, 106. What is that, a double? This is what, our second or third double of the year? I don't know. I stopped counting them. I used to count my doubles. I used to count my buyout picks. I don't really do that anymore. I just came to realize that I'm just fucking awesome at trading, and that's just the way it's going to be. All right, Lyft put in a doji. This has kind of moved down since I've been calling it, and I'm not sure why. Well, I know why, because people are selling it. We're still in that zone. Tooth hurts. I'm expecting a turnaround here on Lyft. Okay. I don't know if we get that. What I'm suggesting is this. People who are bullish on the market seem to find bullish patterns. Likewise, those who are bearish, which is most people in their 30s that are fairly new to the stock market, they all think there's a housing crisis coming and the stock market's going to crash. It's because they're dipshits and don't know anything. Rarely do markets crash, guys. Rarely. You know, this COVID shit messed everyone's head up. That's not how markets operate, okay? You're probably not going to see that again in your life the way it happened then. I mean, you could. What do I know? But I've only seen one like that, okay? I've only been through like 4 crashes in my 20-something years. Crash is just not something you sit around worrying about. What you do want is natural, normal market corrections. And that's kind of what we've been seeing in the Qs is price is it's digesting price, okay? Price can't drop straight down or run straight up for too long before it needs to digest it. And so all this was here was just an excuse to take profits from the people that bought much lower. So CrowdStrike's coming down. What are we going to wait for? We're going to wait for the stage 1 anchor. We need an anchor, which will make that bar the lowest bar or the lowest candle. And then what? We need 3 more, and they all need to be higher. And then we get the very first chance that this is possibly a bottom. We looked at it on Nike. That one's a bottom. Let's look at Starbucks real quick. If you got an actual ticker, don't give me a common, boring, dumb one that we all know, okay? This is a stage 2 breakout, by the way, in our friend Starbucks. Now, I want to show you something. Stage 1, stage 3, stage 1. Look at that money flow pattern. So what does this tell me? We're back in flow, okay? We had all this bullshit here. All this bullshit here. Now we're back in flow. This is a no-brainer. B&B trade, no-brainer. I'm sure I had that on. Yeah, it's on mine. 78 people. Click fucking like, you lazy. Click the goddamn like button. You know you can do it if you're watching TV with your remote. I know it's hard, but you got to take the little thing, you got to click up, you got to click over, and you got to click the thing. 3 clicks makes it difficult, but it's doable, even for you. So Starbucks, I mean, I feel like we tagged the bottom. There's our anchor. There's our entry. Hold on. I mean, look at this beautiful chart. Look at this. I mean, when I look at a Starbucks chart, I see stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I see 1, and we got a breakout, and immediately my brain says, oh, if I'm a swing trader, I'm going to probably try to catch some money right here. If I'm a little bit longer term trader and I'm doing a B&B, I'm going to try to catch some money up here in that 88. But I got to see this box here. So I know this zone here is going to become a zone of contention. It's going to get real sticky right there. So, but look, that's a nice little run though. Nice little run, right? So what am I doing? I'm analyzing the trade. Multiple ways to do one thing. In my buy and hold, I'm just picking up some shares. Simple as that. 3 different playbooks. Give me just a second here.
They had it in themselves. They knew they could be something beyond where they were. They were willing to put their time, their energies to better themselves.
If anybody's got a ticker, let me know.
Do with more skills.
We'll look at one of yours.
Remarkable. So I would like to just tell you a couple of short stories, and we'll draw maybe a couple of lessons from them. I would like to tell you of 2 women that each sold a business to Berkshire Hathaway, to me actually, for many, many, many millions of dollars. Both of them started with $2,500. By coincidence, it was the exact same amount. It was everything they had in the world. And one of them was a woman who landed in Seattle in 1917, couldn't speak a word of English, had a tag around her neck. The tag said Fort Dodge, Iowa. The Red Cross got her to Fort Dodge, where she was reunited with her husband who had come to the country a couple of years earlier. And she lived in Fort Dodge for 2 years. And as she put it, she felt like a dummy. She couldn't pick up the language. She couldn't learn a word. And so she and her husband decided to move to Omaha. So they came to Omaha in 1919. And there she found a small colony of Russian Jews, so she started feeling more at home. And then as her oldest daughter went to school, she would come home, this daughter, Frances, and she would teach her mother the words she learned in school that day. And this woman, Rose Blumkin, spent 20 years saving money, bringing first her siblings over, her mother and father, $50 at a time. She sold used clothing to do it. She had 4 children during this period. And by 1937, after 20 years, she saved $2,500. She went to Chicago and she bought what she could of furniture. Her dream had always been to open a furniture store. And this woman who had never gone to school one day in her life, with $2,500, but with the same spirit that the people in this room had about having a dream and working to accomplish that dream, she built a business which she sold to me in 1983 for $60 million approximately, and which did $1.5 billion worth of business last year. The 4th generation is working in that business. This woman, Rose Blumkin, she worked for me until she was 103. And then she retired and she died the next year, which is a lesson to all of Berkshire's managers that premature retirement, you can't tell what's going to happen. But Mrs. B, with her $2,500, one further fact about her, she could not read or write. And she went into a furniture business, and she didn't bring anything unique in furniture, but she brought a determination to succeed. She knew she could outwork anyone else. She knew she cared about her customers. She worked at very low gross margins, but she built this incredible business. And I saw one other woman who did a similar thing with $2,500. I paid her hundreds of millions of dollars for her business. So I decided to go to the source and get these people before, I don't want you guys coming around to me asking me hundreds of millions of dollars. I'd like to join in with you much earlier. So I've followed this group. And today I'd like to tell you about one other small business person. This person, I went to buy his business from him, and he turned me down, which was very wise. But this was a fellow who was born about 8 years before I was. He was born in 1922. We'll call him Jack, lived in the Midwest. He was a pretty good athlete, didn't like school much. And I'm going to tell you one thing early in the story. Maybe you can figure out who the guy was. The company he built hires more college graduates each year than any other company in the United States. And this fellow, who was destined for this but did not know it, Jack, went to college for a year and then dropped out. He really wasn't that interested in school. And the year he dropped out was 1941. And when the United States became under attack, he went down to the Army Air Force recruiting station, volunteered, and they turned him down because he had hay fever. So he went over to the Navy and again volunteered, and they took him.
All right, let's hold up Big Daddy Buffett. Let's look at Celsius. I've had quite a few people ask me about Celsius. If you're in Discord, hey, go vote. Let me see. Vote for a chart pack too. If you get our chart pack, MFG trade ideas of the week. I don't know why I called it that. Let's drop down, see if Celsius is still on the list. We got a demand zone here. We have broke it. So right. So when I wrote this over here, I was saying I was taking a small audible position. It was at 52.79. That was right around in here. Thought this would hold. But yeah, as you look, I got a target, I got an exit, and I got a stop loss. Right around in there, which is below this demand zone, it was hit. So that is no big deal. So it's done. I'd be stopped out and I would wait. Now, if you have some sort of emotional hang up or tie up about being able to close this, get back in, I mean, you got to get that squared up, man. That's trading. So now what I'm waiting for is I need this to get on Celsius back into this demand zone and above this 5. Okay. My man mentioned this was like his Uber. And everybody should have some stock like that. You know, make sure you understand that stock. Make sure, it's just not something you've made up in your head. Make sure you have a catalyst fundamentally why you think it'll do well. So I'll get back into this if we get back up into this demand zone. But we need to get, we need to activate. We got the stage 4. We need the anchor point, and we need this shit going sideways. Just like we need on Crowd. This is stage 4, and we're waiting for an anchor point. So as of right now, this is the bottom, 263. And we'll see if it plays out. By Friday, we could be back into a trade there. So Celsius, too soon right now, getting cheaper. It is a growth stock. I'll post this chart in Discord as well, but I don't need to. It's on the chart pack here. What else we got? UNG. Ugh. I don't play natural gas. I've spent too much time and lost too much money fucking with natural gas. But if you like playing it, you can play it. I would use the leveraged personally, but that's a quick way to lose money too. Nice patterns though here. Stage 1. We had a 3 that came down and created a new entry. So you got a second shot here, right? Anchor, trigger, target. Boom. Right there. That's exactly how I would have mapped that out. Entry, stop loss, target. Pretty simple. Same every time. We came down. Let's see. Here's our stage 4 decline. 100%. Down, 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 down. Here's our lowest low. Kind of expected that. It's where price stopped before, right? And then just big picture, 1, 3, we're setting up. So I'm looking for that flow, and that's what we're seeing here. Looks good, man. That's your trigger right there. So that's your entry point. Now, look how far apart these moving averages are. I don't like that. You don't usually go very far until those get together. Yeah, it looks good, man. You should be good on that. That's UNG. Isn't SOUN? Isn't that a Chinese stock? SOUN. Soundhound AI. I like this setup. This is a pullback to the 20 trade. I mean, you got your confirmation here. It ran right where we would expect it. Previous high and stopped. Makes total sense. This pulls back. I mean, the RSIs are banging. So people are going to take profits. See, so we can just walk through the chart and we can see it makes sense. The fact that it stopped there on a doji right at the 20 tells me it wants to go higher. So I would enter, either put position back on or a brand new trade, but it's got to break above there and there. Okay, it's got to break above current candle and the previous candle for me. Otherwise, you're just buying into a down move. And we could get that run up into here. It could be a $5 run, bro. SOUN. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Little penny stock. Let's see what's up, man. Is it Chinese, bro? For some reason I'm looking at this. I'm thinking about egg rolls and shit. I do love Chinese food. I ain't gonna lie. Shit, they're out there cussing. I do like some Chinese food, man. Any of you ladies good at cooking Chinese food? The SoFi. Here we go. We've had this gigantic zone in here, man. I thought it was this day. It must have been further back. They took out a loan, 700. I mean, it was almost $1 billion. That's what all this was about. And so what I have been doing is buying all the triggers. Stage 1, stage 1, stage 1, stage 1, stage 1, and then stage 1. And so now price is above all of those purchases. Thank you, Jesus. And now it'll move higher. Look at that perfect doji right there, by the way. And look at that one right there, by the way. And look at this one right here, by the way. And that one was a bottom. So there's one that was a top. God damn. Yeah, I like it. It's a $14 stock. It's going to take a while. I wouldn't sell SoFi just because you get up a little bit. Okay, Soon is based in Santa Clarita. Who do we like in utilities? As a trader, I like the UTSL, baby. The two utilities is the 3X by Direxion. We got an email coming out. Hey, if you're not on Substack, You're a loser. Click the fucking QR code right here. Get on it. Okay. And we're starting to monetize some of it just because we're putting a lot of research into this mofo and something. So if you would like to help with that, get on it. I think the part we started monetizing right now was trade of the week. And then what we did last week is I gave you my 2 runner-ups. So it came down to those 3 that I thought were the easiest, that were is a layup. This is some shit you give to your grandma. You know, that's what I'm thinking when I say that. When I say trade of the week, I'm thinking this is going to be some easy shit. So that's what I'm thinking. That doesn't mean it works every time, okay? We've had this one here a couple times, utility stocks. So when I do that, and I'm working on this right now, the newsletter will be up to date here shortly. I got fucking problems. That's the way life goes. Sometimes you get problems, man. But we got to keep trading. We got to keep doing what we do. I made $731 today day trading in bed, by the way. I never got out of bed to trade. So that's kind of cool. That's the power. That's the power of this. It's amazing. It's one of the few jobs you can be sick and just keep making money. What do we got here? This is last week's board. What was I looking up? Oh, so finally, I don't even know. Use your homework. Oh, the point to that is the point. So when I'm looking for trades of the week, one of the things I'm looking at is the wind. S&P, the Dow, the Qs, gold, TLT, USO, Bitcoin. Okay. And from that, I'm trying to see sector rotations. And then what I was telling you before, yeah, I know this is hard, huh? Sounds like a goddamn skill set. Yeah, I know. It is. And we're trying to not predict, but we're trying to react and to position ourselves for what is, what we see. It's not about getting in and out. It's about properly positioning to benefit. And my man asked about utilities. My favorite utility stocks. This is why I came to the. You got to pay 18. You will see my whole portfolio here. But get on Substack. We're doing a little grandfather thing. You can. We're doing a little inner circle of mine where I'm be sending out some private videos going over a lot of stocks if you're on the upgraded Substack there. And covering those trades of the week with charts. There's a video, me showing you entries, exit, targets. Trying to make it as simple as I can for you every week. And then once a month, I'm going over all the buy and holds in detail, one by one. Obviously, some of them we don't need to, but the ones that we do, we do. So these are the buy and holds, and I have that broke down into 5 different portfolios. And yeah, pretty simple right there. So if you notice, if you come across SO at Southern Electric, that is my largest utility company. That's what I was trying to get to. So I don't necessarily buy a lot of this anymore. I only buy utilities if they're on sale. But if you're new to the stock market, our portfolios are not going to be lined up exactly. You may want to pick up some right in here. I don't. I own like $100 and something thousand. I've been buying utility stocks for like 13 fucking years. So it's not a real interest to me right now, but I do love trading the shit out of it. So I use the XUTSL. But anytime you can get utility stocks underneath the 200, that means you understand the money flow playbook. You understand this concept of the B&B trades. Anytime you can get them under there, that's when you're buying your oil stocks. That's when you're buying the Coca-Colas and the Pepsis and the McDonald's and the variety. These fucking stocks are boring. They barely fucking move. But we need them to build wealth, okay? Owning Walmart isn't about trading. I mean, you could, okay? Right? But look, it's fucking boring. It just goes up. It just goes up. Look at this. It just goes up. So these are easy. These are no-brainers. So what we got to do is use the money flow to capture the ones that are breaking ranks. And so McDonald's rarely does McDonald's one, not follow the market, but two, go into a spiral down below the 200. This is rare, man. And that's why you need me as a friend, so that I can tell you, hey, bro, this is fucking rare. Wake up, stop spooning, and look at your monitor. And that's what we do for each other in the money flow. And you guys do it for me too. And I really, really, really appreciate it, man. You guys don't know how much that helps me, man. And hopefully I help you. And the people I'm bringing on to help me track all 118 of my positions, guys, I've got over 3 million in my portfolio, and it's across 118 stocks and 17 properties. And it's a lot of goddamn shit, partnerships, LLCs, insurance. What we got? I don't know, 20 something, 25 insurance policies, 7 different accounts, multiple cryptos and this and that. It's a lot, man. It is a lot to track on a daily basis, and to stay on top and to rotate. So I'm trying to turn 4 million into 20 million. Let's go. I'm trying to 10x it, make it 40 million. Warren Buffett at age 51, 52, became a billionaire. Now he's worth 190 billion or 200 billion, whatever it is. That means he 190x since he was my age. If I could 190x, I'm at $500 million. That seems hard to believe. I'm going to be honest. I got to work on that. Why do I think that is hard to believe? And I'm the guy who teaches to believe in shit. And for some reason, it is hard for me to comprehend that I could 190x from here. I got to believe that, though. The Science of Getting Rich says if one person, doesn't it say that? If one person in your locale can do it, you can do it. Well, he is one person. Where's it? I thought The ownership and money comes and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way. And those who do things in this certain way, whether on accident or whether on purpose, get rich. And those who do not do things in a certain way, no matter how hard they work, how much they love Jesus or their mama, remain poor. So it comes down to doing things in a certain way, baby. And that's what we got to do. And that's what the money flow is, man. It gives you a chance to do things in a certain way. Hey, get on with us. We're building this out over here, man. Get on the Substack. I got separate videos coming for that. Breaking down the portfolio. I've got, people that I'm paying to help research and bring all this together. And that's for you guys, man. And me. It's for me too. I'm being selfish. I'm going to be honest. I'm building out what I need to help me 190x. I'm trying to get rich as fuck. I don't know what everyone else is doing. You guys want to spoon and play with do your mental masturbation shit, whatever it is you're doing all day. I'm trying to get rich. I need help to do that. It's hard. Okay. It's hard, doing it what we do. So I day trade, I position trade, I swing trade, and I buy and hold because I have a big fucking brain and I'm talented. And God lets me do it. And he lets you do it. You can do more, have more, be more than you can possibly imagine if you start pushing yourself, man. I believe that in all my heart. Get on the Substack, man. Let's go. Let's be friends. Get in my little group. Text me, man. Text me something good, man. God damn. Let's see. We'll see what happens here, man. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Market looks good. Let me check this. Gold real quick. Still a stage 2. We've been trading futures contracts. Coinbase has a futures platform now. Get on it. Tonight, get approved. It'll take you 10 fucking minutes. Go to Coinbase and get approved. Bonds. Everything still looks good, man. SPY's coming down. It's holding at 20. We're going to go higher, man. This is a bull market, baby. We're going higher. Appreciate you guys.